Here you can see the default home screen on the S740. This is HTC's version of the sliding panels interface, first seen on Windows 6.1, Windows Mobile 6.1 devices, that is. It looks just like the stock Windows Mobile 6.1 sliding panels home screen, except HTC has tweaked it a bit. You can see like this is the email panel. Get you a close look there. Shows newly received email messages just like you would expect. The important difference for me, at least personally, is that it supports folders on Exchange properly, meaning if you have server-side filters set up to make sure that mail gets put into appropriate subfolders, based on in my personal case, manufacturer, depending on who's sending it to me, then folders change. So that things don't all come in my inbox, and this is the first device, Windows Mobile or otherwise, that actually handles that properly, and I get new message notifications regardless of what folder the Exchange server puts the new message in, which is really fantastic. You can see here, there's full support for attachments. This is a simple spreadsheet that I used to use for testing headsets and phones. I attach that to the email, so you can see there's built-in read support for Office documents. The great thing is when you hit back out of one of those messages, it takes you back to the sliding panels instead of taking you back to the inbox. Supports HTML, email, all that kind of stuff, and you can obviously do other things with it. There's also a nice new weather panel because HTC devices are known lately for weather. So you can set one city, you can't set multiple cities, but you can get your forecasts and you can have it auto refresh, things like that. Also a nice way for accessing bookmarks. Very handy. You just go to anything you want directly from the home screen. Much quicker access than going to the browser itself and then pulling up the favorites and selecting something. So HTC's put a little bit of thought into this, and they've really improved on the sliding panels concept that you had with default Windows Mobile 6.1 devices. See, this is the Pocket IE browser. Not particularly impressive. This is not the Internet Explorer 6 on 6 that we've been waiting for, but this is, you can see it's doing an admirable job of rendering a simple mobile formatted site. This is BBC's website. You can do full screen modes, of course, and also works in landscape. And what we'll do is go to the Mobile Burn website. Hit enter. Again, this is an edge connection because we're using an S740 outside of Europe. If we had an S743, this would be humming along a lot faster. Everything looks nice, typical for Pocket IE, and as long as it's a mobile formatted site, it does a pretty good job. So you have landscape and portrait mode viewing, like you would expect. Nothing too fancy. Sliding panels also show you appointments. You can see there's dinner with Brian, that kind of stuff. Missed calls, new voicemails, separate panel for SMS and MMS. I showed you weather, bookmarks. There's also media access, quick way to change profiles. Also other panels for the comm manager for turning on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and things like that. Quickly disabling direct push for the over-the-air synchronization, that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, you can't really customize these panels. Like personally, I don't have any need to have a music panel, things like that. You can't really get rid of those. You're stuck with what HTC gives you. But what HTC gives you is pretty useful in the first place. So let's pull up the Start menu so you can see what that looks like. You can see it comes up with the recent programs. So these are the things I've run most recently. Google Maps, Internet Explorer, Bubble Breaker, of course. If you hit the soft key down here, it'll go to the full menu, and it's not the normal kind of thing that you can scroll through. This one's configured to work page after page, so you have to hit more to get to the next page. Not as nice as some, but workable, I suppose. See, we'll pull up the multimedia menu, and you can see there's settings for the audio booster, HTC's own audio manager player instead of Windows Mobile or Windows Media Player rather. There's also an FM radio, requires the use of the included antenna, so you have to, of course, have that plugged in order for it to work. You can add speed dials to just about anything, so a speed dial or a voice tag for voice dialing. Speed dial for the FM radio, and we could choose what key to use, and say make it 4. And then when we are elsewhere on the phone and hold down the 4, makes a little bit of noise, but then brings up the radio application, which we still cannot use because the antenna's not, or the headset's not plugged in. Dialing is pretty straightforward. You just start typing a name or number. Go G-O-J-O-H for John. You see John Doe there. You can scroll left and right with the D-pad to see work versus mobile numbers, text, email, that kind of thing, web addresses. Pull up the record, see what it looks like. Obviously pictures, and then menu will let you edit the record. Pretty straightforward, works pretty well. A lot of information you can store in there. And of course you can always just call this by hitting either the green button here, which isn't really green, or the left soft key.